back to the chat room. Paul and Helen here joining us is Pamela and Amy cooking with braces, and I see the fondue pot is bubbling. Yep. Looks delicious. Great. Welcome to the chat room.
Well, thank you, Helen.
And thank you for uncorking the wine, which Paul will not be consuming, but I will.
All right, I'm going to pour you some.
I'll test everybody afterwards, though. We'll actually have sobriety tests.
Okay. That's good stuff.
I didn't vote in that election. I don't know about that one. All right, so start us off. Fondue, obviously, when you're dipping something in something that's hot, it's going to get soft, so that's good for braces.
It is.
And yummy, too.
In fact, here we've got some soft bread that the crusts have been cut off, so that they're softer. It's interesting. I didn't realize how much goes into making your food soft.
Right.
For people, it's not just braces. It's people, older folks who have lots of dental work done, and their mouth is very sensitive.
And it's been the trend for adults to get braces. We know Tom Cruise, Cameron Diaz, some of the bigger celebrities.
Right.
I know this right here.
Even
You have
Joyce
your retainer.
Brothers. I have my retainer. I'm being good.
I'm curious, is that what created your interest in writing a book like this, or what was it that stimulated this?
This actually started because I did a previous book geared a little bit more towards teens, and it was the idea of my daughter, who was in her third of what would be 6 years of braces, and she got pretty tired of her options.
Right.
So we decided to get creative. And now the second round is geared a bit more towards adults, a little bit more towards main meals, and ideas of how to cope with braces in the business world.
Oh, I love that. I had braces as a teenager. All three of my children had braces. Paul's son, Austin, had braces. So, it's always that when they want the apple. I just wanted to bite into an apple. Or I'm an ice cruncher. And things like that you can't do.
Oh, gosh. Hard, sticky, chewy, crunchy.
Stay away from.
I'm surprised. I just found out that it's not uncommon for 2 cycles of braces, actually for young children to get braces, and then they put them in braces again when they're adults, which I didn't realize that they would do that.
It all depends on what time they started and how well things have shifted. And then the technology even has changed. If you read that eating something cold or a smoothie makes you feel good, it's not just you. It actually reduces the movement of the wires. It's all NASA technology. It's so cool. But go for that comfort food smoothie.
Comfort food smoothie. I love that. All right, so what do we have? We have fondue. For sure would be soft.
Yes, and it is soft, and I must say.
And the recipes, we have to tell our viewers real quick, make sure they get the book. They can go to your website, the Braces Cookbook 2. So obviously there was a Braces Cookbook 1.
Yes, the first one was called Recipes You and Your Orthodontist Will Love. And here we have comfort food with a gourmet touch. So I created the main recipes. And Amy, who's a chef trained at the French Coloring Institute,
that's right,
added her gourmet touch. It's optional, but it kicks it up a notch for everything you do.
Right.
We have a lot of fun. When we get together, we're like, okay, Pam, we need to add some more flavor to this. So that's what we got to do here.
And so you have cauliflower right now, so you can do vegetables or soft bread.
Right.
And here is a plate. I have 2
This is my first fondue exposure.
Really?
Oh,
wow. So much fun in store.
Yeah. But fondue isn't just chocolate like we're doing right now.
Right, so this can be an appetizer or even a main meal.
All right.
We have found in general that when you're talking with the braces, if you're out in public, you might want to think about white foods, which you might not always think is as healthy as some others. But reserve the broccoli for home eating, the privacy of your home, so that's why we offered cauliflower. And if you're really sore that day, you might try nibbling with the side teeth.
That is good.
But you're pretty much trying to avoid things.
I remember the side teeth nibble shuffle, yeah.
It helps.
It always, whenever I'd get my braces tightened, that would be the night my family decided to go out and have a steak dinner or something like that. And I had to gum my steak.
Oh, I know.
I guess I've been blessed because I've never had to deal with any of these issues. I just eat. I don't worry about it.
Well, we tried to make all the recipes appealing to everybody because usually there's a family or a husband-wife, and you don't want to have to cook 2 and 3 different kinds of food.
All right, this is sitting in front of me, too, and this looks delicious. What is this?
This is a beef crumble sandwich.
Beef crumble. I started to say, okay.
Yes. And it's based on a lot of recipes from my family in the Mississippi area, up and down in Iowa, and everybody has their own variation. This particular one, interestingly enough, has chicken gumbo soup. But the tomato helps soften things, and the real key, Amy and I love this.
Really good.
This has the name of a fish spatula, but it's a very stiff spatula. If you have anything like this, you do a fine chopping motion, and you get the beef very, very crumbled.
It is. I mean, we can't. You have a piece of lettuce on it, so I'm going to pull the lettuce off of it. But I don't know if we can get a shot of that, boys. But look at that.
They want to get a bite of it. They don't get a shot of it.
Look at the crumbled beef and the cheese. So I tasted a little bit of that, and it tastes kind of like a sausage pizza.
A little bit.
You brought that recipe from Mississippi. You know what has 5 eyes and runs south?
That's true.
Mississippi River.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got it.
You don't say Mississippi, it's Mississippi.
Mississippi, like Missouri.
Missouri, Mississippi. And these, what are these? These are like vegetable chips?
Exactly.
That's kind of our focus in the cookbook is to help encourage people to make better food choices. You know, if that's adding cauliflower and whole wheat bread and, you know, real sugars, fruit sugars, vegetable chips. That's been a real
With your
important
recipes,
thing.
did you create a lot of them yourselves, or did you just research different? Because there's diversity in that. I saw you have Budapest, and there are Italian dishes in there, and Brazilian. So did you look for ones that were specific to this, or did you actually create a lot of them yourself also?
We created them.
We did virtually all
I'm
of
sure
them.
we got inspired by certain areas, but a lot of them were inspired when she would get recipes when she'd go to visit friends in different parts of the country. She's from the East Coast, so a lot of...
Were we neighbors?
Oh,
East Coast, West Coast.
Feels close.
So she did a lot of research on all that. And then my gourmet touches of adding some wine or fresh herbs or, you know, adding a little bit of cream.
You picked a great bottle of wine
Good.
to go with the fun,
Good.
too.
And this is not an expensive one. There's wines all over right now, and in fact, I do lots of stuff with teaching people about wine and how to choose it. There's so many out there. Moscato was a really nice wine, especially for people who really don't like wine. It's a little bit sweeter.
Exactly. I'm not a white wine fan. I love red wines, and that is really
too.
yummy. Are you a red wine fan?
Can I give you a sample?
No, but thank you very much. I'm working.
Okay.
As an Italian, though, we have wine with our cereal in the morning. We're not, it's wine at all times. Just before bed.
Yeah, they do a lot of
whenever.
wine.
All right, and then after the meal and the wine, of course, is dessert.
Well, we have a few options here. As I say, this cookbook focused more on the main meals, but we had to have desserts in there.
Oh, totally.
By the way.
So, two that we brought today. This is called almond buttery bars.
Okay.
If you like the flavor of almond or marzipan, these are really soft. They do have butter, but not much, and a little oil. The combination makes them super tender.
Right.
It's almost a panucci fudge. And then
Panucci fudge.
flavor. And then Amee added very finely crumbled almonds for days when your teeth don't really hurt, but you want to make sure you don't damage your braces.
Right.
She sprinkled a little bit of nutmeg and powdered sugar and the almond bits on part of it, and then the rest you could leave plain, because there are some days you're going to be more sensitive than others.
Right.
So we wanted to offer that. And then I can't go a day without chocolate. So these, again, along the lines of healthy eating, these have 2 cups of zucchini in them. And usually no one ever guesses it. So not a
Can I
great
do a
deal of
little
sugar.
taste?
Please help
Okay.
yourselves.
I'm going to try to see
Kids
if I
love
can
'em.
see the
Kids
zucchini.
love 'em.
You should have said, what's the secret recipe? What's the secret
Oh,
thing?
I suppose I could have. But
I'm
we
not going
bring
to be
these
as
to
delicate
the...
as you. I want to take a whole piece and work on
for
it.
it.
Is that okay?
Absolutely. We
Cannot taste the zucchini.
It's very good, and like that's what we've been trying to do
And it
is
adds texture
adding
to it.
like
It gives
healthy
moisture.
nutrients to your food.
Even
It
if you
gives so
don't
much
have
moisture.
braces, I love that recipe for the zucchini brownies, and that's in the book? That is really good.
That one's in the earlier book that we brought in, the First Braces
people
Cookbook.
need
So
to get
either way.
cookbooks. Yes.
Yeah, and then a lot of these I post online at the website so that we can keep updating things.
Now, you mentioned in this particular dessert...
You're going to have to try a bit of this. I had this in the
Is it
car on the way
delicious?
over. Yeah.
These are
And
delicious.
And it has a little bit of, you said pecans? Or
This is all almond.
Almonds.
It's intense almond. In fact, when I wrote the recipe in the book, it
Yeah.
says 1.5 tablespoons. Yes, I mean tablespoons. That's unusual.
But almonds are
And
one
I
of the top
love
7
almonds.
foods to eat. One of the top 7
Good health.
foods, and it's excellent to
The other
add to
6 are
anything.
chocolate.
Mediterranean. And
No.
Yeah.
Salmon, berries. There's so many neat foods that are in that category.
Speaking of having a little bit of crumbled almonds in there, what brings to my mind is when you have braces, and the broccoli, another thing gets stuck in your braces. Here you brought a little shopping cart of things that you can clean the almonds out of your braces. And so we got the dental floss.
I also wanted to show, this is a product called DentaKit, also online at that website, DentaKit. And this woman has put together a little packet. You can keep it in your briefcase, in your desk, in a purse. And this is the essentials. But the really, really specific one I love, there's 2 brands. It's like American Express, don't leave home without it.
I love it.
This is a little covered brush, and this is how you take care of anything that took up residence that you really didn't want it to.
As you give us a demonstration, I'll sip the yummy wine. Pamela, Amee, thank you so much for being in the chat room.
Our pleasure.
Paul and Helen wrapping it up. Next.